Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into something that, let's be honest, affects all of us, our reputation. We're going to break down the basics of defamation law right here in Kenya and, how it's supposed to protect your good name. Have you ever had that sinking feeling? When you hear something false is being said about you, a rumor, a lie, something that could really damage your reputation. Well, it turns out the law actually has something to say about that. All right, so let's get right into it. To even begin to understand how you can protect your reputation, we've got to know what we're actually talking about. So what exactly is defamation, legally speaking? Okay, so here's the official breakdown. It really boils down to two huge things. First, the statement has to be false. And second, it has to actually harm someone's reputation. So we're not just talking about hurt feelings here. This is about real, measurable damage. And in Kenya, this is all laid out in one specific law, the Defamation Act, Chapter 36. Now, this is pretty interesting. The law actually splits defamation into two different types. You've got libel, which is for the permanent stuff. Think things that are written down, recorded, like a blog post or even a video. Then you have slander, and that's for the temporary, spoken stuff. The real difference, the thing to remember, is permanence. Is it written in stone, or did it just disappear into the air? So what if this happens to you? You're pretty sure you've been defamed. What's next? Well, you can't just show up in court and say someone said something mean. Nope. You've got to build a real, solid legal case. Let's take a look at what that actually takes. Remember this number, 5. It's absolutely crucial. Because to win a defamation case here in Kenya, the person bringing the lawsuit, they're called the plaintiff, has to prove 5 essential things. Not 4, not 3, all 5. All right, here they are, the big 5. First, you have to prove the statement itself was defamatory. Second, publication. This just means it was shared with at least one other person. It can't just be between you and them. Third, fault. You have to show the person who said it was either malicious or just plain careless. Fourth, identification. It has to be super clear that the nasty statement was about you. And finally, number 5, harm. You've got to prove your reputation actually took a hit because of it. But hold on, it's not a one-way street. The law is all about balance, right? So the person being accused has several really powerful ways to defend themselves. Just because something hurts your reputation doesn't automatically make it illegal. So let's flip the script and look at the other side's defense. Okay, so what can they argue? Well, there are a few big ones. The absolute knockout defense? Truth. If what they said is factually true, it's game over for the defamation claim. Then there's fair comment, which protects someone's honest opinion on something of public interest. Consent is pretty simple. You can't sue if you actually agreed to have it published. And privilege is a fascinating one. It protects statements made in certain places, like in Parliament or a courtroom, so people can speak freely without worrying about getting sued. All right, let's fast forward to the endgame. The arguments have been made, all the evidence is in, and the court is ready to make a call. If they decide, yep, this was defamation, what can they actually do about it? How do they make it right? The court basically has two main tools in its toolbox here. First up, damages. That's cold hard cash, monetary compensation paid to you for the harm done to your reputation. Second, they can issue an injunction. Think of that as a legal stop sign. It's a court order telling them to stop spreading the statement any further. So you could say one fixes the past and the other protects your future. So we've walked through the what, the how, and the what if of a defamation case. But let's just pause for a second and zoom out. Why does any of this really matter to you and me, to everyday people, not just lawyers? And really, this is what it all comes down to. Defamation law isn't just about punishing people for saying bad things. It's this incredibly delicate balancing act. On one hand, you have the right for every single person to protect their good name, but on the other hand, you have the vital principle of free speech. The law is constantly trying to walk that tightrope between the two. And that brings us right to our final thought for today. In this age of instant shares, retweets, and viral posts, where something can go around the world in seconds, that line between a harmless opinion and a legal defamation, it's getting blurrier and more important every single day. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. In our world right now, where exactly do we draw that line?